Hi, this is Jan Larson with Thimbles for You, and today I want to show a little bit of a technique video on how to do the bindings on your quilts. Bindings are usually sewn on the back and then wrapped to the front, or sewn on the front and wrapped to the back. Either way, you've got one edge that's a folded edge that's left hanging. So I always do all my bindings with the double thread. My friends and family are hard on my quilts. I don't want the edges coming loose. So I've got a double thread already made here with a big knot, and I'll show you how I start. So again, I want to hide my knot back underneath, and so I'll hide it back in there and then come out to the front, just barely catching the edge. So there we are. We've got our start right on the edge of the quilt. So you can make a more hidden stitch or a less hidden stitch. It depends on you. You can go way up in there like almost a blanket stitch, or you can just catch one or two threads. I like to catch just a little tiny bit, and I'm doing this with kind of an odd colored thread so that you can see what's going on. If you want it to be really solid, you'll go all the way back through the back piece as well, but that's not necessary. Just doing it right in the front is good too. Keep your stitches less than 1/4 of an inch long and just one or two threads. You want it to really be nice and snug. When you pull that and tighten it up, it'll kind of roll over. The most important part here that I'm trying to show you is how to use your thimbles. So take a look at where my thimble is in relation to the rest of my hand. I've kind of got my thumb back there, but my thimble is doing the motoring work on each stitch. My index finger is doing the guiding and getting it into the right spot, doing a couple attempts, and then my motoring finger pulls it through. So each stitch, and most of you know this, as you take your stitches, you wear little calluses into that back finger, and it hurts for a while after you've done a whole quilt. Even these little lightweight stitches can start to really hurt, and so that's what the thimble's all about. Keeping you from getting those bad, painful calluses on that back finger. Some of you use your ring finger to push that on through, and you can sure do that. It doesn't matter which finger, but just so something is there wherever you're doing your pushing to keep it from painfully causing calluses in the back. So I've seen a number of odd techniques along these lines. I don't care how odd you are, but you really do want to use your index finger. When you first start with it, you'll put the needle crosswise and then get your thimble behind it so that your thimble can be the guide or the motor behind it. So you can see how mine, it sits there, and then I kind of, my thumb and my middle finger find a little spot where it kind of catches, and then you put it into the fabric, find your spot using your index finger, and then just use that same dimple to push it on through. Every one of my thimbles has a lifetime guarantee, and so I do get them back once in a while where somebody has used it up and put a hole all the way through on that one spot where they dimple all the time. And that's not unusual. It's really what should be. So don't be afraid to use that same dimple over and over. When I get them back, they'll have one hole all the way through, and I'll put a little silver wire in that hole and solder it back together and harden it up again and send it right back out. So that's the technique for doing hems or for doing bindings on a quilt. This is Jan Larson with Thimbles for You.